How are you at setting language learning goals? Have you thought about where you'd like to be this time next year with your Español? Well, it's that time of year, isn't it? And everybody's kind of thinking about the things that they want to achieve in 2024, looking back on 2023 and assessing and looking, back on what worked, what didn't work. And I thought I'd do a video that's a little bit different this time to help you get a better idea of where you want to be this time next year with your language learning. It's very difficult sometimes to imagine what it will be like in the future, because it's tricky to keep those language learning routines alive throughout the year. Everyone starts the beginning of the year full of enthusiasm, whether you're, losing weight, getting fit, learning a new language. It's like full steam ahead. Yeah, go for it. The gyms are packed. Everyone's signing up, to all sorts of courses. And unfortunately, in most cases, it's not consistent. And why isn't it consistent? Because it's kind of that all or nothing approach. So when you want to lose weight or when you want to learn a new language, you might think, so I'll sign up to a course and in 6 weeks I'll be fluent. And it doesn't quite work like that. I've been teaching Spanish now for, over 10 years. And I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students. I've taught loads of people. And a lot of the time, from the very first lesson, people will say to me, I want to be fluent by the time I go, on holiday in July. Or it's their very first lesson and they want to pass their GCSE exam in a few months. And it's just not really realistic. I don't want to put a downer on things for you, but in this video, I'd like to help you make some realistic goals around your language learning. And the first thing I want to suggest is that you focus on the things that you enjoy doing. For example, maybe you're a runner and you love running. Okay, you can learn the vocab and phrases around running. I've done a great video for runners, a mini lesson. Go and check it out. Maybe you enjoy cooking, and look at one of the recipes and look at the ingredients in Español, the key verbs involved with cooking food. It's easier to learn something when you're actually genuinely interested in the topic. Learning vocab for vocab's sake is dry, it's boring, and you're going to run out of steam pretty quickly. So that would be my first suggestion. Plan the 12 months out ahead of you and look for a topic a month. What 12 things are you interested in? And look at and focus on one thing a month for the next 12 months. The next thing I'm going to suggest that you have a think about is more of a negative. Think about what you don't want out of your language learning. So, I can't tell you how many people I speak to when they've come back from their holiday to Spain and they've said, I really wish I'd spoken to you sooner, or I really wish I'd done, I'd learnt some Spanish before I went, or I knew I should have done Duolingo before we left for the holiday. It's like you go away and you realise that you haven't prepared enough, or maybe at all. And you're frustrated, you're embarrassed, and you come back yet again from your holiday feeling deflated and a little bit down on yourself. You're kind of kicking yourself. Like, I knew I should have taken that course before I went away. So how do you not want to feel with your language learning? What is it? What are the feelings, or what are the things that you want to avoid? Have a think of that. That's quite a great motivator, because once you've identified the things that you don't want, you can move back from that and work out, so the last time I came home from my holiday to Spain, I felt miserable and deflated, and I don't want to feel that again. So what date is the next holiday booked for? It's booked in July, right? Fabulous. a mini course before that, or maybe a 6 weeks beginner's course, or maybe you can fit in some private lessons before you go, or just Duolingo or memorize anything to help you soften those feelings of disappointment when you return. So that's a good one. The next thing is completely the flip side of that, right? So focus on the positives. So what do you already know? Maybe you know how to say, hello and how are you? Maybe you know how to say how old you are. I don't know, that you've got a dog or whatever. Yeah, write down everything that you already know. If you're a little bit more advanced in your Spanish, maybe you're an improver and you've covered the present tense, maybe you can talk in the future. Is it the simple future or the proper future? Do you know the difference between between the past tenses, the imperfect, the preterite, the present perfect? Do you know how to talk in the ing? Do you know how to speak about something that you are doing? Yeah. Do you know how to make sentences negative? Do you know how to ask questions? All things like that. Make a list of everything that you already know. And that will be a bit of a confidence booster for you. Next, that's the first thing that I suggested was maybe making a list of 12 topics that you're actually interested in. Rather than binging them all at the beginning of the year, if you stretch them out for the whole year and then set a timer for 20 minutes a day, Monday to Friday, doesn't have to be weekends if you don't want to, and just do 20 minutes a day. That could be reading vocab around your chosen topic, or making vocab lists around your chosen topic, or watching a video, or doing a little bit of memrise. So just for 20 minutes. A lot of people get bogged down by the idea that they have to read pages or a page or 2 pages a day. And to be honest, if you're a newbie, if you're a beginner with Spanish and you're setting yourself the goal of reading a page a day, it's quite a lot, because it could take you an hour to read a page a day. Whereas if you set a timer for 20 minutes, you're like, right, okay, 20 minutes are on, do some reading, learn some vocab, write some new vocab, whatever it is that you want to do for 20 minutes. And that's it. And it's a lot more manageable doing 20 minutes a day than it is kind of overwhelming yourself and saying, right, I need to read a page or 2 pages a day. If you know that you struggle to find time to fit certain things into your day, like language learning isn't the number one priority in your life at the moment, you can do it with something else that you enjoy. So for example, you're going to set your timer for 20 minutes. You're going to do 20 minutes of Spanish. And you know that when those 20 minutes have ended, maybe you're going to go and make yourself a really nice cup of tea, or you're going to have a coffee. You're going to do something that you enjoy. Maybe once you've done 20 minutes of Spanish, you're going to go out for a run, or you're going to do some exercise. The first habit that you're not really that keen on at the moment is the one that you do first, and the next one is the one that you enjoy. And you know that the one that you enjoy you can't do until you've done the one before. It's good. And before you know it, it's creating a new habit, and you won't even really think about it. It's important with that though to make sure that when you sit down to do your 20 minutes of Spanish, that you've already prepared what it is that you're going to do. You don't want to spend those 20 minutes researching or trying to find websites or trying to find videos and things. You just want to have that ready to go for 20 minutes. Another great thing that you can do in 2024, this is becoming really, much more popular, is to find a language learning buddy. Could be anybody. It could be a friend, could be a neighbour, could be a child. A lot of children are learning Spanish. They're learning it at school, they're learning it in after-school clubs, and it's a great activity to do as a family. And if you find someone that you can learn with, it's a little bit more of a motivator for you to learn, and it also makes you more accountable. It's great to practice speaking, to throw ideas around, and also to develop your listening skills. Language buddies, there are loads of online businesses as well where you can find native speakers to chat with. I've never really used any of those. I don't have any first-hand experience with them, but I know that people do use them and that they've been quite valuable. Look for a local course. See if you can find a face-to-face, in-person, in real life course. Yeah, and then approach somebody on that course and see if they'll be your language learning buddy. And to finish with, it's all about setting realistic goals, right? Like I said in the beginning, you don't want to be thinking or saying to yourself that, right, it's January, we're going on holiday in July. By July, I want to be fluent. Okay. Set more realistic goals, because you won't be setting yourself up for failure that way. So by July, I want to have learnt Spanish for 20 minutes a day for, 6 months. Yeah. And as you go through that, you can even have a little table, have a little chart up somewhere. Once you've done it 1 week, tick it off, tick the weeks off. And as that starts to build up, you'll start to develop more of a routine. And by the time that you go on holiday in July or August or wherever it is that you're going, you might not be fluent, but you will definitely have a lot more confidence, more vocabulary, and you'll be generally feeling better about yourself, because when you come back from that holiday, you'll know that you've done loads more than you did the year before. So there we go. There's just some ideas for you to think about, with it being, the end of 2023. Next week it's 2024, and I know a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, language learn, I've got to improve my Spanish, want to learn Spanish. It's on my New Year's resolution. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself some realistic goals, plan the year out if you're a planner, but make it fun. Make it fun, enjoy it. And my advice to anybody who's thinking of learning a language, or maybe you're coming back to it after you've been away from language learning for a while, look for a tutor, look for someone who can see where you're at, what level you're at. If you're a sports group, maybe you're planning on going on a cycling tour to Mallorca next year, or you're a part of a running club who've got a trip planned, let me know. I would love to design a tailor-made course for you, all around the specific vocab to do with your sport. We'll have some great fun helping you develop your language learning skills, so that you get more value out of your trip. You get a more authentic experience. Yeah, we all know that how many more doors are opened when we can speak the local language of the place that we're visiting. You know where I am if there's anything I can help you with in 2024. That's it. So all that's left for me to say is Feliz Año Nuevo. Yeah, Feliz Año Nuevo. I hope that you all have a fabulous end to 2023. And bueno, nos vemos el año que viene. Adiós.